up after obviously not. But not overnight, normally it's just like a half day.
Yeah, then it's overnight.
Not next day on the train overnight, yeah, about half a day I think to this.
Og så stopper vi nogle andre steder og er et stykke tid, og så kører man altså videre. Hvad det koster? Nej, det må du google. Men det er sådan lidt ligesom et bare tog cruise, kan man sige.
Det er også slag i skyggen. Nej, blås.
Australiens totale areal er faktisk klassificeret som ørken. Og det kan nemt indeholde Europa på det areal der.
Så udsigten mod vest. Her er udsigten mod over byen. En stor jernbanestation herovre. Og her så der meget lange biler med flere træk på.
Radio og de blå prikker, det er altså de skoler, der er rundt omkring eller på stedet.
2 weeks work for a year 3 student, meaning they would be about 7 years old. We used to have to post this. It would take 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. All right. You can come back and take photos after you see the live lesson. You're more than welcome.
Kommer tilbage bagefter, så er de andre blevet til ud.
And you'll find this page to book forward, it's called Bouncy Balloons, and you'll find...
Den her skole, vi ser.
There are several ways for students with the School of the Air to communicate with their classmates. The last thing done with the cameras is the blue curtains can be used for blue screening. So the background would be...
Det er også en blue screening. Det kan de altså også bruge her med det her, der kan vi se alt muligt op bagpå og lege med det. De har ikke matematik før år 9, tror jeg. Det er den her math before year 9.
They don't have math.
Yeah. Så derfor så er de også med i School of Hver, for så har de nemlig matematiklærer til år 9.
Used for any student whose parents don't have a set long-term residence that they're currently using. Generally, to have a job involves moving.
Så her har vi nogle mader, kan vi kalde dem. Det er simpelthen de rejser.
Oh, it just happened. Wow, that's very exciting. No way. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there was. We had 5 years.
She's wanted.
Flying doctor on a mission of mercy. The flying doctor serves this land from sea to sea. On every outback station and remote community, the flying doctor has no bounds for race or creed. Wonderful. It's the flying doctor. It's us. Most Australians live in heavily populated coastal regions, clustered together in the safety of numbers, with first-class medical help only minutes away. But for the people of the outback, it can sometimes take hours, even days, to get treatment for themselves and their families. Years living in these practically uninhabited parts are now entirely cut off from doctors and nurses. None but the men, women and children who live in the Never Never can appreciate the great benefit and boon an aerial medical service will bring to them. The people of the Never Never and the people who help keep the big commercial centres together and those who live in the big cities and towns of Australia must realise what these men out back have done and are doing. To power a radio receiver. By 1929, people living in isolation were able to call on the Flying Doctor Service to assist them in an emergency. Transistorised receivers later replaced pedal radios, making it possible for doctors to give radio consultations. It also meant neighbours, families and friends scattered over thousands of kilometres could exchange news and gossip after normal transmission hours. This time became known as the Galah session, aptly named after the noisy, chattering bird.
Has proved to us one of the greatest benefits of our lives, and that without this great mantle of safety, we mothers would not dare to bring up our families so far from medical help.
And now it is our esteemed privilege and honour to...
Predominantly British. DH-50, DH-83 Foxmont, the DH-84 Dragon, the DH-104 Dove, and the Australian-built DHA Marks 1, 2 and 3 Drover. Later, American aircraft predominated. Beechcraft Baron, Travel Air, Queen Air and Duke, the Cessna 180, 182 and 421B, the Piper Cherokee, Chieftain and Navajo. Flights were normally made during daylight hours, although night flights were attempted in cases of extreme urgency. Fuel supplies were also carried on flights until fuel dumps were established at certain strategic outstations. Until the 1960s, the service rarely owned our own aircraft. We used contractors to provide aircraft, pilots and servicing. We progressively began to purchase our own aircraft and employ our own pilots and engineers, and were able to install the medical equipment necessary to turn the aircraft into flying intensive care units. Prior to the mid-1980s, RFDS aircraft were all piston engines. The introduction of the twin-engine King Air B200Cs in the late 1980s and the Pilatus PC-12s of the mid-1990s show the great benefits of turboprop aircraft.
Alt afhængig af, hvad der sker med kamelbriderne og så videre, der har lyst til det. Og det er jo altså det første stop hos DJ. Jeg må gerne lige vandre videre ned med den. meget hurtigt op til naturen altså. Der har vi ikke sådan en måler på, hvor højt vandet kan komme op. Der skal meget vand til, før den her tørre jord ikke kan holde på det. Eller Adelaide, som man bare kalder hende. Byen der, hun ligger 1544 km fra Adelaide og 1491 km fra Darwin og næsten 3000 km fra Sydney, hvor vi skal hen efter Uluru. Det er jo en lille oase, vi kommer ind på her. Og det er Neil og hans kone, Jane, som
går lige så langsomt, som når vi andre skal ned på knyttet.
faktisk er det
Jeg synes, den drejer hovedet lidt meget.
Jeg ved, den vil have noget godt. Så hun har kiks i lommen.
Det er snød. Ah.
Det gjorde du sgu meget godt.
Hun behøver ikke engang at trække den der snor, så sidder vi nede til bordet, ikke? Så det er jo noget, der går ondt, hvis der man trækker meget i den.
Det er sådan en folde ud, kamel. Og her er de sadlet op. Her er de sadlet op til at tage imod nogle turister.
Djævel, der er foran bussen faktisk. Vi ikke skal alle sammen, der kommer lige ind over vejen. Og dem er der mange, der støvhvirvler. Men ellers rigtig sandstormer, hvis man there are 8 wedge tails that are so. Let me just check this. Was that wedge tail amongst the kites? Was that wedge tail amongst the kites as well? So I didn't see that one. Der var en lige midt på vejen, og det var altså den her wedge tail.
Mount et eller andet på cirka 800 meter. Det ligger inde på et privat område, så jeg kan ikke komme tættere. Her ved Mount kan man virkelig se, at jorden er rød. Fint sand.
Og den hed vist noget med ligger. Den er fra Australien.
Nu er det flot, at jeg ikke kigger.
T シャツ見えてる？見えてる。大丈夫？はい。
That they had campfires because we've got all the soot on the roof all around us.
Det har været et sted, hvor de kamperede. Det ved man, fordi man kan se afmærkninger af sod fra båden.
And behind us a tree.
Vi ser hulevæggen der, det er ligesom i en klasse, hvor læreren står og tegner på tavle, hvad jeg vil sige. I gamle dage i hvert fald med kridt, nu er det så de der smartboards. Men samme måde at gøre det på, de fortæller historien gennem det, de maler på væggen til den yngre generation.
The paint is made.
Det maler med her, det er okker, og det blander de med vand, hvis de skal lave sådan noget som det her. Lærer den yngre generation, hvis det er ceremonier, så blander de det med hvorfor så igen? Mixing it with?
Animal fat, so kangaroo or emu fat.
Så blander de det med fedtstoffer fra kænguru, eller hvad de nu finder. Og det er noget, der så holder meget, meget længere, end det her, det vil gøre.
So it came in 3 colors, white, yellow, but there is no carbon in ochre, so it's very hard to date. The way that they've been doing it so far is dating the dirt. So this is carpi.
Jeg skal at finde ud af, at der er altså oversvømmelser her. Til tider oversvømmelser.
And what you're probably going to find even more surprising is on the top of the rock we have a species of shrimp or prawn. When we have rains, they'll come out, they'll breed, they'll lay their eggs, and then they burrow back down into mud and stay where it's moist and basically hide. And so this is where Kunya and her nephew came to become Monapi.
Så det her Kunya og hendes nevø, de er som Monapi, regnbue, serpent. De er vel
visitor numbers climbing the rock fall below 20%, then you can close it, because then that's not the major highlight of coming. The major highlight is other activities such as the culture now. And so it finally fell below 20%. Only got announced about 2 months ago that they'll be closing the climb, and they promised to give...
Hvad du med det,
nu skulle vi lige have det så.
We have what is called desert bloodwood. It's a big cool thing. And then it's messed about crazy. Eventually one day that is going to drop off. So if you're standing under it, it's not going to be good, and that's why we call it a widow maker.
Det kalder man også enkegøreren.
kilometer for op. Der var nogen, der så en fugl. Så skal man have en snor der.
Der er en lille en, der har tabt en slikkepind.
Ja.
Der er vedkommende nok en kendt af. Hvis ikke de har haft flere.
Prøv at komme ned og kigge i vandet også, dem der sidder derovre, når I er færdige med.
Ja, det er fint, jeg kan sagtens komme til.
Man kan sagtens forestille sig, det der med, at vandet det fryser.
Well, he was down in that line after all. Yeah, we should have waited, but he was still at the children's table. So that's an hour.
Hello, Denmark. Hello. Good luck and welcome.
Det er bedre end tennis.
A very rough picture of Uluru. So you may or may not know, it is kind of shaped like a kidney. Alright, so our story starts in the north. So as I said, a concentric circle is a sacred site. And the Mild people, they travelled down and they discovered Uluru and thought, wow, what a marvellous place to have ceremony in Mark.
Så meget folk kommer op nordfra, og så rejser de ned sydpå og opdager altså den her fantastiske klippe.
And it means that ceremony is in progress.
Så for enden af klippen her, så er der et andet stykke klippe, hvor der er afstand imellem Uluru og så den. Og det er altså malermanden, der har sat den på, og det er altså et sted, hvor man kan holde ceremonies. Ja, ceremonier.
Now the Mulgasig men from the west, they came to see the Marlaman in the men's cave. They'd already started ceremony, and during ceremony, everything had to be done right by the books, and it had to be completed. The Mulgasig men asked the Marlaman.
havet, men over hvor vi står. Og der var et spørgsmål om at finde på at ikke løbe efter en, men sådan at sløbe sig efter en. Og det er altså en, der udelukkende lever af myrer, så det er jo et godt sted at være. Der er myrer over det hele.
Kylie har også first date. Først siger til min datter.
Masser af konglomerater, der er rullet ned fra bjerget. Jeg tror, det var enden på min tur. Der er langt endnu derude. Der skulle være en platform yderst, og så god tid tilbage igen. Så er der gået en halv time, og vi skal også tilbage igen. De andre skal kunne klare det hele på en halv time derudefra. Så jeg returnerer. Og det der, som jeg troede skulle være søjler og ansigter og så videre, det er jo selve klippeknoldene her.
Jeg tror, du bruger hende for lidt til det. Ja.